Holy Horizon, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme park, amusement park news all around the world. From all around the world. We don't go all around the world.
Wish
we did. Yeah, but if you are watching this, thanks for halfway around. If you're watching this, thank you for being in the chat. Thanks everyone for joining us. If you are listening to this on podcast form afterwards, just to let you know, we do this every Wednesday on YouTube live at 8 p.m. UK time. So come and join us. Get involved in the chat. It'd be nice to have you all. So how are we all doing, everyone? We good?
Good, thank you.
Doing good.
Not long to go now.
Another day in paradise.
Not long to go until the parks open back up. I'm getting excited now.
Getting closer and closer.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let's have a look at everyone in the chat. We have that Ginger one. We got Mark. We got Kira. We got Ads. We got Neil. We got Gemma. We got Tom. Hello. We have John. We have Laura.
Coastal Giant.
Chris. We have Matt. Thanks, Jesse, Jake. We got loads of people in, but yeah, thanks for joining us. So,
Claire's in the chat. I haven't seen you in here.
Emma, apparently something's wrong with you. You're wearing colour.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only hoodie that I've got that's not in the wash, so it had to.
Has to happen. So there we go. So yeah, the parks are open, Sean. This is Portland's Erasure. Yeah, true.
Disrespecting is open. Sean.
Yeah.
Everyone flogged Sean in the chat.
But I'm on about the main season, you know. Even when Pleasure
Portland's is the main season.
Is it though?
Do you know what's funny? Just very quickly, I've seen that you put on Twitter the other day. I really like roller coasters, and a couple people were like, "You disrespecting dark rides," and I was like, "That is the most Twitter response to anything I've ever heard in the world."
That was Claire.
I really like this thing. What? So you hate this thing then, do you?
But that is how Twitter works, right? Like, yeah. It's like I really like pizza. What you got against burritos then? What's
not even from the same place, you idiot.
So there you go. But yeah, it's been a bit of a slower news, I'd say. Even though there's quite a lot of talk about. The previous two podcasts we had are packed full. So we started just before we come on. We was like, oh, there's not that much to talk about, and then we all reminded each other, actually, there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So obviously our first thing is we're going to go for the news, and then our main topic is about theme park food, and basically stuff we don't like about theme park food and stuff we love about theme park food. And I thought it'd be quite good to talk about because it's a big conversation, because there's been loads of things from Disneyland Paris coming out and things like that, and you know, with just food in general at theme parks, what we want to see more of, what we want to see less of. So yeah, when we get into that, I think it's going to get quite passionate when it comes to food. But this should have been the podcast where we had a mukbang, right? We should have all just got favorite theme park foods. There we go.
I should have just gone and found a mixed grill from somewhere.
Yeah,
had it right here on the desk.
It's now making me hungry.
So right, first of all, Project Horizon has been approved. There we go.
Let's go.
Yes, the council.
And that's all we know about it still.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. You're actually not wrong.
It got approved, but it did have a condition that there's certain like heritage work that had to be proven that was going to go ahead before they can start the actual construction, and it was just things like the conservatory and the garden being completed, like having proof that it's going to happen and things like that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's kind of a condition with every bit of planning they do now,
which is good. Like, I really like that though, because it makes, I mean, they have to do it anyway.
Yeah,
they have to do it because they rent the land. It's not their land, and there's an actual active grade 2 listed garden there. I think it's grade, was it grade 1? I don't know, can't remember. But it's things like that. I think it's grade 2, isn't it? But yeah, there's this.
John just put, bring me Project Horizon. I like that.
Bring me Project Horizon. that'd be a theme park Horizon. There we go. Or just can we have another music coaster? All of them have gone now, pretty much, haven't they?
Another what?
Another what, sorry?
Music themed roller coaster.
Music.
Oh, yeah. How many are there?
I mean, in a way, Guardians is music themed because it's like
We have a dubstep coaster.
Which one's that?
No, just a dubstep coaster.
Oh,
just
just a
make it
dubstep.
dubstep. Yeah.
I mean, there's Rip Ride Rocket. There's Ride to Happiness. There's. Do you remember that freestyle music park that closed down a while ago? It had a B&M Looper theme to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Oompa coaster.
Yeah.
Oompa coaster. But no, like I just feel like some good ones have gone recently. But yeah, anyway, let's get on with it. Project Horizon. All we know about it at the minute is that it will feature special effects and visuals that have never been seen before in a UK theme park. So makes kind of sense if it's an indoor coaster. Like it seems like they're going to go like really hard on the special effects inside it and stuff. I can't wait to see that. It's just going to be really interesting to what it's going to be themed to, because obviously we have a lot of dark themes.
It'll be something miserable, won't it? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they've heard that feedback. Surely.
Don't get me wrong. I love miserable.
I know.
Things.
Yeah, same.
I'm down, but like,
it would be.
Yeah. How many more natural disasters or just apocalyptic themes in general can we cram into Merlin Parks?
Like John was onto something there. It's going to be like an emo coaster, and it's going to be Bring Me the Horizon music, and we're all just going to be big emos, and it's going to be.
Yeah, it was like when that guy called the marketing department depressed emos. Do you remember that? Like last year sometime. It was the funniest thing. And loads of people were like changing their names on Twitter to like depressed roller coaster emo or something like that. It's so funny.
That's where that came from then.
Yeah. I know there's some things that are just out of context, and it's sometimes they kept brought up now and again. It's so funny. But yeah, so there we go. Project Horizon. Really looking forward to whatever it may be. What are you looking at? What are you laughing
I was
at?
just laughing at Ads's comment.
You've got to say what the comment. You can't just laugh.
You can read it
Yeah,
out.
but any music coaster here would be less Aerosmith and more Nick Hudson. I mean, not wrong in a way. He did the croc drop and everything. Yeah, so there we go. Anyway, yeah. So next up, Mandrill has been testing. Yeah, there we go.
It looks quite fun, actually.
It looks.
Although
Yeah, it
I'm
looks.
still not sure how comfortable that.
If you're on the front row, you're going to be there for a long time.
A long time on your left side.
Yeah. So
also, just some of the transition. I think like the transition into that helix, like the way it turns into it, like it looks like it was meant to have axis seats, like swinging seats on the train.
Yeah.
Because the transition is so jank that
what do you think? Do you have a conspiracy that it was meant to be Axis?
There's a part of me that thinks that it might have been considered at one point,
some kind of
like
swinging.
because
that's what we all thought, weren't it?
Swinging seats at some point.
When we saw that helix, we
development.
all thought it must have some kind of rotation going on in them seats. But
Yeah,
The vests will be pinning you in. It'll be fine.
fucking, it's a weird ride. It's just weird. like I'm sure it'll be a bit of fun, but
yeah, it's just. I mean, I'm just like, looking forward to it because it is just such a bizarre concept. Like,
I do like the back spike that it goes.
Yeah,
over
it goes higher.
It looks
higher
really
up.
cool.
Yeah, it goes higher up than I thought it was going to go.
it's way steeper than I thought it would be
Yeah.
as well. Like I knew it was going to be beyond vertical, but I didn't think it would be. Like it almost looks like G-Force's inverted lift hill a little bit. Obviously, it's not that bad, but like.
Matt
Like,
says the vest will be pinning you in. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Kira said, I remember Wardley saying that Air was the hero coaster to Nemesis is feel like we're all over you. Another heroic theme.
That is true.
Yeah. very true.
No, isn't it miserable?
I've got to say, I like my dark themes. To be honest, like I am
They're
on
way
board
more
with them.
fun.
Especially like I'm about to do a whole lot of coasters in America that are just like superheroes or race cars.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not
theming to
right.
race cars.
I
So
just
I'm
feel like that
DC
just
superheroes
shows,
to be exact.
yeah,
it just
yeah.
shows the cultural divide between the US and the
Yeah,
UK.
yeah, literally, yeah. We're
The
all like
UK were all
depressed.
depressed.
And then
We
we're
love
just
to
like,
be
fuck
depressed. Our rights
yeah!
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
The colors of our coasters reflect our mental state, don't they?
No, the colours of our coasters reflect our planning.
Yeah.
How many hurdles we have to we have to have it
Yeah.
disguised in the sky, so it has to be grey because that's what our skies are like, basically.
It's so true.
So there we go. Mandrill. Oh yeah, and it's there's the back seat on it as well. Which I think we all saw coming.
Backward facing row.
People were saying it looked rough, but I don't know how you can. I don't know how you like. Obviously, the dummy was shaking, but I'm like, it had. Well, we don't know that for sure, but it definitely looked like it didn't have any. It looked like it was light as anything, but also like, that's what they do to test it, right? Like they don't just put wheels on and it's just like perfect.
So I know the guy who started all that off on Twitter, and he was half joking, but like,
I guess,
but like,
that,
just
that.
the
But
reaction, the reaction it got, it was like, might as well just go along with it.
No,
Like,
that's what I mean. Obviously, like, it was the reaction to it because obviously, if you know how he tweets, you know that you don't take it for gospel. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like just taking like drunk riders like as gospel of what they say. But it was the reaction to it. Like, yeah, that looks so rough. You know, and I was like, no, that's not how it goes.
Just
it's a B&M. Like the one thing, it might be boring, it might be uncomfortable, but it's definitely not going to be rough. But yeah, so next
That's
up,
a word I don't even want to attempt to say.
The
Furious backoification.
Backoification.
B&M wings. That's a word.
Furious backoification. Yeah, Furious backo. Would it not have been better to have half the rows facing backwards?
I thought
that could have worked. To be fair,
going back to when John Wardley did his interview and he said that they had come up with a way to solve capacity with it. I genuinely thought they were going to do back-to-back seating.
I thought, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
you double the capacity on the same train.
No, it was just make the train longer.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. So yeah, next up we have Big One testing. So yeah, after Tasco have come in and replaced their more track. I can't talk today. I don't know why I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah, it's tested. That's it. It's cool. It sounds very great. It's pretty cool to hear how quiet it is when it just hits that section. It's just really strange.
Well, have they not put the what's it called? Like the maintenance platform shit back in because that made a bloody noise of its own. So when that goes back in, it's going to do the normal every time you do.
Yeah, true.
Oh, what you mean, like the catwalks, like in that valley?
Isn't that below? Yeah, but that's like below where you can see from outside the park, though, isn't it? That's like behind the buildings, right? From the outside.
I don't know. But them things make a noise and off, so maybe they.
Yeah, they fucking vibrate like anything. I mean, no, I think you can see they're right behind, like the entrance to Infusion. Is it not?
Yeah,
but they're a bit further down. Or something
from
like
outside the park, you can't see that.
Oh, from outside the park.
Yeah.
No, you can't see.
So I can't tell whether they're on there or not.
But
yeah. Here we go.
Joe said nature is healing.
Nature is healing. Yeah, everything's testing. Ad says, as I understand it, John may have been referring to an earlier concept that, for budgeting or technical reasons, didn't make it to the final version. So yeah,
That makes sense.
It's always budget with Merlin, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was always budget.
If hero seats go backwards, I think I'll end up having a broken bone. Yeah, no, we do not need that.
It's fucking painful forwards, let alone backwards. Jesus.
But yeah, anyway, guys, if you see any interesting comments in the chat, let me know so I can get them up. Cause
I just laugh at them. I don't mention.
yeah, you've got to mention them so I can see them. I
Okay,
can't keep an eye on them and go for the news. So Gotham City Escape testing. Hey!
Oh,
It
that thing
lives.
looks cool.
It lives.
That first launch out of that
It is
standstill launch.
alive.
Yeah. So I saw this through European Coaster Club. This video.
Yes.
Find it. There we go.
Yeah, they credited someone on TikTok, was it? Yeah.
It was credited to. I cannot say that.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
What do you even say? Bahasin Reserva.
I'm going to say it. Everyone quiet. Via Jess in Reserva.
That is the worst Spanish dialect I've ever heard, Sean.
What, you want me to actually just say like Spanish?
Yeah, they don't pronounce the J's, do they? So it's like Via Jess in reverse.
Yes, in
You trying to curse me or something?
Putting the hex curse on you.
Like they're not French.
That's the hex curse in Spanish.
No, it's more French. There was quite a lot of phlegm there.
Anyway. Let's have a look at the actual video. By the way, the song on it is a bop. I'm gonna say
That first launch.
yeah, it's going hard, right? There's a lot of I mean, I know it's only testing, but I would not be opposed to that hang time right there.
Yeah, right.
It also looks
it gives
very
me
odd.
it gives me strong Tiger vibes.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that first launch and the hang time and the inversion, which
The
I am
three-car
not
trains
mad about at
just
all.
looks so odd.
Yeah, it looks really odd, doesn't it?
See, like people have been
Such a short train.
I've seen so many people saying that, like, we haven't seen like Maverick hasn't existed for the past 15 years.
I don't really see much of Maverick, though. That's the thing.
I think it's because if you frequent them type of parks, you'll be used to that. Whereas a lot of people over here,
I've seen Americans saying it as well. But I hear you. Yeah.
I think for us, it's weird to see like an Intamin
That short.
And to some degree, we have gotten used to the Intamin multi-launch coasters having like at least 4 cars per train.
Yeah.
And then obviously Pantheon and Velocicoaster.
If it was 4, it'd be fine. It's just the fact that it is 3. It just doesn't look balanced.
I don't think it looks that weird personally. What I'm concerned about is the fact that it apparently only has 3 trains.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what's worrying me. I can't remember where
it has.
That's what I'm saying. Taron runs 4 trains with less blocks. So why couldn't this run at least 4 or 5 trains? I do remember reading somewhere that it'll have 3 trains, and I was just like, with 3 cars per train, that is an alarmingly low amount of seats.
They didn't have every time
there's for the seats specifically, not even the train.
No, the seats. They splurged out on the seat.
But I don't know. We'll see how quickly, like once it's open and operating. Obviously, we'll see how.
I don't know how busy
they
that
load.
gets.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know that about Parkour in Madrid. So we'll see how quickly they can unload and load trains. It can't take them that long. It's only 12 seats they have to load. But yeah. I think that first launch out of the station. I hope that it will be a stationary launch and not a rolling one, because that launch track is so short that it'll just straight full send out of that building. I think it'll be sick.
And by the way, Mark, because I want to say this because he keeps writing it. we've talked about Subterra to death. Like, there's been something going on at Subterra for like the last year, nearly 2 years now. But we'll just have
There's
to
something going on at
see.
Subterra since
Yeah.
Joe was on the podcast, mate.
Yeah, true. Yeah. By the way, congratulations to Joe, who used to be on here. He's now part of the attraction source.
Oh my
team.
god, yeah, he is, isn't he?
Same with Claire as well.
Same
so
with Claire.
congratulations to
Congrats,
Claire.
Claire. And Nikki. And Nikki, yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Hello.
And someone else
Congrats,
called
Claire.
Ben that I don't know, but congrats to you as well.
Congrats, everyone. Well done. It's good to see the team growing because you know the events are getting bigger and bigger as well. It seems. But yeah, there we go.
Nikki just jumped in the chat as well. Hi, Nikki.
Wow.
Queue time won't matter because she'll be queue jumped by everyone.
Everyone's extended family,
No.
regardless.
Yeah, I've not heard great things about that park in terms of
Everyone's extended family. That's amazing.
It's mate. It's if you go on a bit. I've only experienced that at Portaventura, but it's like it is bad. Like
It's really bad.
it is bad. And if it was,
Everyone's been summoned. We summoned about 5 people here.
Yeah.
Just mentioning their names.
just have to mention their names, and so if we just go through a list of register, we can just get everyone in, can't we?
it's like the bat signal and everyone shall come.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
good link there.
Imagine. Wrong guest list, mate. Wrong guest list.
What's Lloyd saying? Titatis, in my opinion, looks like a much better, interesting layout. Batman looks like a rehash of Velocicoaster elements.
Did you want to go?
Yeah, you go.
It's like it's interesting to me just because Tutatis looks like layout wise looks like such an improved version on everything that Pantheon does.
Yeah.
And
The Pantheon.
Batman looks like that. Like I do kind of agree to an extent that it looks like it takes the same sort of I suppose like identity or like whatever spiritual name you want to give it to what Velocicoaster does, but I kind of think that just it has its own identity in its layout as well. There are so many just weird, janky, fucking around looking elements on Batman that it's going to provide a much more interesting experience. I think there's enough there that's going to distinguish it from every other.
And to be fair, yeah, I think I'm not opposed to having something very similar to Velocicoaster, like close to me either.
Yeah,
like if it does give that same feeling, like I'm all for it. So, but like, yeah, I do know I'm kind of in that camp where Titatis is, to me, looks more interesting, just because it looks just different. But yeah, like I'm really looking forward to it. According to RCDB, which I kind of think are normally bang on about this type of things, it is opening on the 8th. It's still not been confirmed, has it, by the park that it's opening on that date?
No.
I think we're going though. We're going to go and just risk it. On
that note as well, Park Warner Madrid did say recently that they gave a link to subscribe to their email newsletter, like online newsletter, and it said that in soon they're going to release like the opening date for Gotham City Escape via their online newsletter. So if you can find that link on their Twitter page and
just keep an eye on Twitter and everyone.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Keep an eye on Twitter. Someone will say it.
Gets that email. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good shout though. Like if you want to be the very first, if you want to say I knew this information before you,
if you want to be that guy,
yeah.
If you want to be that guy or that girl,
if you want to go there.
But
yeah,
but the newsletter.
But now we're gonna jet off to Orlando. Orlando.
You bought a plane ticket for me. How sweet.
I think you're close.
Did I get business class?
Did
I get business class?
Did I?
No.
Oh.
So yeah, Epic Universe.
We're in the undercarriage with the checked bags.
You gotta be quicker.
Sorry,
Carl. You gotta be quicker than that. So yeah, Epic Universe, their Matt Drawling coaster has been all over socials recently because they've just completed them 2 like top hats.
It's looking pretty.
Oh yeah,
and it's looking very visually nice. I haven't got any photos because I didn't know I couldn't tell whose photos I belonged to. It was just drones, drone work. So I don't know who it was. So.
It's what the hell?
It doesn't matter because I'm not putting them up because I'm not asked them. So
fair enough.
But yeah,
I've got the name right here, but you do you.
I mean, you can say it, but I haven't asked him.
Sure, yeah. I'll go for it. It's fine.
But yeah, but it's all over Twitter anyway. Most people here have seen the photos. But yeah, it just looks very. It's one of the most visually pleasing things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, legit. Like as soon as the pictures landed on Twitter, like everyone was just. I think some people got quite found it quite visually pleasing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't one of them.
No, mate, you were so happy about it. What are you on about?
Oh
I've got
yeah,
the messages here.
Oh yeah, no, like I'll own that shit. This shit looks sexy as fuck.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it was good because your first message was the supports look ugly as hell.
Yeah,
and then
because they do without no track on them.
Exactly. And the next thing was like, oh my god, what is that? Yeah, but yeah.
Now, what stood out to me first is that like, because there's the like, you know, the dueling top hat or whatever, and then the supports for another element like further on in the layout, like just like almost right next to the top hat, and those supports are way taller than the top hat, like the supports themselves. So I was like, how fucking tall is this shit about to be? Because like from some angles, it looks like it's topping like around 160 plus feet or however tall it's meant to be. And then just like, I mean, some of the supports on that element, and then some of the supports on the turnaround, like right in the real back end of the site of the layout, are all up as well. And it's just fucking just lattice structures going all over the place. So just like, it just looks so weird without
I must say though,
without track on it, but it'll make sense in context.
The yellow track looks really nice. The off yellow greeny track though,
yeah,
I'm really not a fan of that color. Kind of looks like baby sick.
Yeah, like I don't hate it, but I don't love it either.
I said expect it to be 180 foot.
Wow.
That's insane.
Do you know what made me laugh though? Is because obviously when you have like Universal are going quite like into their coasters now, and it's been a while since they've really done these type of projects. And it's just funny like seeing someone like just like how there's just the Disney fans, and they're not really they don't really fans of other parks, or they don't really look into other, don't really go onto other coasters.
I know what you're gonna say.
And there's loads of people on there, like on one of these images, saying like Rip Rides is way steeper than that. Don't get what everyone's on about. It's like we're not on about how steep it is.
And also, no, it's not.
It's just
no, it isn't.
But to the untrained eye, do you know what I mean? If you're just looking at it through pictures,
yeah,
that's just what I was seeing. Or people just saying like comparing it to Velocicoaster, and it was kind of just like, yeah, but it's just so different. Like, it's just that weird part where like worlds combine.
You don't understand,
like
man. It's a steeper angle. It goes up at a steeper angle and comes down at a steeper angle.
It's just I don't want to be pretentious about it, but it's when people who don't really like look at other coasters from around the world.
Yeah,
they're just like in their own little world, which is like they just love Universal.
What I actually thought you were
struggling to understand.
Yeah, what I actually thought you were going to say is that it's just like diehard Disney fans looking at like Universal building big coasters and stuff, and just like thinking, oh, Universal's just like Six Flags. They don't care about theming. They just building loads of bigger coasters. I'm like,
are people actually saying that?
Yes, yes, they are. They're like, could you be more ignorant?
Emma, you weren't subtle at all. Everyone's.
Try not to rustle the bag.
But yeah, it's just a weird thing. Like I see it a lot. Like Disney just go so Disney fans just go so they just want to, even when they know they're wrong, they still have to like die on their own little hill. Like I saw like someone trying to make that whole you know, when everyone was saying like Tron was small, and someone like combined like the length. I can't remember what he was saying now. He was saying something about like if you calculated the actual ride time of I can't remember what he was trying to say now. It was like certain coasters from the lift hill, when you drop, it's this amount of time. Tron is longer than that, and it was just like, what are you on about? Like I was like he just went through this whole big rant about how like Tron isn't actually that short.
Yeah. People are so dumb. People are so daft on Twitter, man.
Yeah. I think people have just spent so much money at Disney that they're just still trying to justify themselves that it's still the best thing.
Yeah. They don't want to face that fact of just like, where has all this money gone? And
But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of love for Disney, don't get me wrong, but like you can't say that they're just better at everything anymore. They're just not. Like, no, I mean, look at Universal, the stuff they're doing is just insane. Like
there's rumors picking up around Epic Universe that or that have been picking up that the level of we've probably spoken about this on the podcast before, but like it's gonna have the level of like thematic integrity and just detail per area this on the same level as like Tokyo Disney Sea. But you think about Tokyo, you think about Tokyo Disney Sea. Like,
can we just go this? Oh my god, that was a former Imagineer who said that. He was trying to say Tron should have a lift hill so it doesn't feel as short.
Wow.
What the hell? Oh no.
Anyway, the thing about Tokyo Disney Sea, like it has one roller coaster, and it's a clone of Indiana Jones at Disneyland Paris. You think about this is gonna have like 2 dueling multi-launch coasters. It's got like the How to Train Your Dragon coaster. That's kind of like a slightly lesser version of Hagrid's. Like the roller coaster hardware that this park is gonna have with the level of like theatrics and thematic detail of Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah,
I really hope it lives up to all of that, because we're talking about unprecedented. Like people who have been to Tokyo
it's
Disney
not
Sea,
even the thing is, when it comes to like Disney versus Universal, it's such a stupid thing, and I only ever really see Disney people doing it, and it's like you go to Disney because you want Disney. You can't get Disney anywhere else. You want the Disney experience. You want to hear the songs. You want to see the parades. You want the characters. You want the rides based on the Disney IP, and you can't get that anywhere else. So why try and compare it to Universal that have just like they're trying to capture a different market in a way. They're trying to capture some of that market from Disney, but there's a lot of people who will go to Disney and stay at Disney, and Universal won't interest them, and that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like that's fine. It's absolutely fine. So stop trying to like I say, it's not everyone, but there's just specific people I see a lot on Twitter who just bang. I'm like, Universal is living in your head rent free. So, but yeah. But yeah, we go. Anyway, next up, let's get through this. Let's go through this. American Dream Mall, which has Nickelodeon Universe in it, is being sued for $389 million by its lenders, who helped bankroll the mall's construction. So yeah, this is like, you know what, this is giving me like Britannia Park vibes. Massively, like
literally,
like everything. So yeah, this has happened, but then
it's just something. It's some new fucking like just predicament that American Dream is finding itself in like every other week.
Yeah, but like it's just I've said this from the start. I was like, this just seems like a thing that's destined to fail, unfortunately. But yeah, that's happening. The developer 555 reported $60 million losses in 2021, and they're saying that's due to the pandemic. But there's a lot of parks that did the best in that year, so it's kind of like if that's happened to you, then something's gone wrong with your marketing or whatever, really.
Yeah.
And it's embroiled in a dispute over $9 million in payments that neighboring say they are owed. Basically they've just got a lot of stuff on. Like this 389 million is just like the tip of the iceberg, really. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people saying they've not been paid for certain things. This is a shame, really, because you never want to see like a theme park or a mall that has a theme park in it like suffer, really. But also like the prices they pay for they charge for Nickelodeon Universe is like pretty astonishing, man. I think it's like $70 or something the last time I checked.
Claire said that she was charged $80 for 2 coasters.
It's just
because they can't keep the rides open.
No.
It's just ridiculous. It's not even like it's a half a day. It's not even half a day park. Like when you look at what's actually there, and it always seems pretty dead.
Do you remember when they were charging like they were doing basically 2, I think, 4-hour sessions per day, and they were charging like somewhere in the region of $60 to $70 for each session or something like that. I may have gotten that wrong. If anyone wants to fact check, I remember. Feel free to. But it was it was way too much, to put it that way, for each session.
And like even that session is like way too much time that you need in that place.
Yeah.
Maybe if you want to do re-rides, but there's just not enough in there to want to justify doing re-rides of stuff.
They've taken that back, and it's now just one price for the entire day. But as far as I'm aware, but it's just been way too expensive just in general to go to that place. And now fucking what did I see the other day? One like a theming element in the water park. There's a DreamWorks water park in that mall as well, and a theming, like a helicopter, a decorative helicopter from the ceiling, basically fell up, like, you know, detached itself somehow like from the ceiling and fell into one of the pools.
What the hell?
Jesus!
Like I saw a video. I saw a video of it the other day.
Was it closed?
No, at the time? No, the park was open, and apparently 4 people were injured. I've not heard about like the degree to which they were injured. Hopefully, it wasn't like severely, but I was very pleasantly surprised that more people weren't affected by it. But like the park was open when that happened, and it's like
DreamWorks water park. Oh my god, yeah,
like
that's a massive piece of theming that is. As well.
Yeah, it's a big set piece. Like it was a helicopter that was literally just hanging from the ceiling of the place.
That is like that should never happen. Like what?
Like beyond never. Like that should never be.
If you're hanging something from the ceiling, you hang it with multiple attachment points,
right?
And only one attachment point should be required to support the entire weight.
Exactly.
And dynamic.
It's like it looks like a spaceship type of thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's mental.
This is what I'm saying. It's just like how many other fucking weird things are going to go wrong, or at the very least
slides going to stay standing.
PR situations is this mall going to find itself in? Like, involved in?
Did they build on like ancient burial grounds or something?
Yeah, weird.
I don't know, dude.
So Lloyd said £68 for 1 day pass at Alton Towers now. Granted,
Yeah,
nobody.
but you don't have to
pays
pay that. There's so many options that you can get it on price.
I think that the
Whereas
reason they charge
people-
that is because
Get a
they
bottle of
don't have-
Yazoo. There you go.
They have the half price.
Oh, Yazoo.
Genuinely, all of them have half price tickets on them. No.
Yeah.
So, hand
I
soap.
was just about to say, get all the hand soap containers, just collect them up.
But like the thing is, like, I'm so used to now like paying, around £40 to get into like a European park at least.
Yep.
And then if you go to Florida, it's even more. I feel like if you start charging like 20 quid to get into the park, you're never going to get good investments into the park.
Yeah.
So there needs to be like a good balancing act of like, if you want like future investments, I mean, I'm not going to pay 68 quid. That's why but also that's why we have season passes in it, like, because it like brings it down. But I don't know, like I felt like at one point, like some of our parks, I wasn't complaining because at the time I was a student, but so I could get in really cheap. But like, I don't know, it's that weird thing where I'm like, I want it to be available to everyone, but also where's the fine line with
Well, it's like, what are the current main incentives of getting a Merlin annual pass? Because they have to work to like just like justify or further justify more people going the annual pass option route, as opposed to having to pay £68 every time they want to go to Towers, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like
or find someone to go with.
Yeah.
Or you pay online, you get a little cheaper. But it's like Portland's. It's
like,
quite
what are the
expensive.
main draws for getting a Merlin annual pass these days? I'm asking. I don't know.
The main draw.
Like,
Well, personally for me, it is you pay. What is it even now? What is it a month? Again, it was like,
if you want
20
the top tier one, it's £20 a month now.
so say if you did it monthly, you got £20 a month. That gets you access to like all the main theme parks in the UK.
Yeah, if you go to a park in a month, that's it covered for that month.
You get free if you drive in there, you get the parking.
Yeah.
You get you get the discounts on all the merchandise
and food.
and
how much
also,
does that like?
and
What,
then
15%, 20%?
20 or 10,
like
depending which pass you've got now.
Yeah, and then you get, and then also you can get discounts on the hotels and stuff if you're quick about it.
Right.
And then also like something that I didn't appreciate until like a couple of years ago when I started doing it was just the general midway stuff. Like if you like the London Dungeons, you can do like pretty much all of them. The London Eye, for example, I've done that like 4 times in the last year, and that is like 40 quid to get on. Like, and
I do keep forgetting about the midway attractions, to be fair.
If you have any map, you go in the fast pass queue. So if you go to London Eye, is the queue on that is insane.
Now, then.
Have they?
It used to be back when they just had standard and premium, the good old days before monthly and all that. If you had standard, you got free entry, but you had to join the main queue.
Oh, okay.
If you had premium, you got the fast track. Entry to it.
I don't know. Maybe that still stands.
Straight on when we did it.
You what?
I was going to say we walked straight on when we did it, and I have read a few things saying that because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, we don't get the queue jump anymore," but it seems to be like I don't think the staff really know what's going on with that because I have read people have walked straight to the queue. Some people have queued. Some people have.
Because you just go. Because like we went when we first did it, we went to the box office where you go to buy your tickets, and they were just like, no, just go to the fast pass queue and just show your pass.
Yeah.
And they didn't even ask us like what level we had. So because we went there, I think the fast pass just acts as like the map pass queue as well. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. But going back to like just the price of parks, like Portland's is 40 quid, which is pretty expensive. But I just feel like when you're seeing like what they're doing, like with like Tornado Springs, I'm like, that's pretty good. And they don't offer, and with Portland's as well, they don't have a fast pass option. So the queues are always moved like that. It's never rammed.
No, they don't oversell it.
So yeah, it comes to that point where it's like if you offer like a really cheap entry, it's going to be rammed.
You have to make up. You have to make up costs somewhere else.
You have to make costs up fast. So yeah, I don't know.
So
It's off-
just to be objective about it, take the £68 figure. Converted to US dollars, that's roughly around $80 to $82, something like that. You compare that to somewhere like not even to go down the Universal and Disney rabbit hole, but if you compare that to somewhere like Busch Gardens, where I'm not 100% sure how, I'm not 100% sure of like how much a day ticket is, but it was in recent years somewhere in the region of like $90 a day ticket at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It has gone up since then. So like just to put it into real like actual like objective terms, it's like it's still not as expensive as certain other major parks like in the US, like the Busch Gardens, the Dollywoods and Silver Dollar Cities, the SeaWorlds, like
but
those ones.
Busch, like their prices for food is like insane.
Oh, no, yeah, they are. They are.
So they're making it up in that way, aren't they? Like, because when we went to Busch Tampa, like we paid more for burger and chips there than we did at a Disney or a Universal park. It was like it's insane. So they are making it up in other ways.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not bothered about the food, then that's fine, isn't it? Really, if you go in there all the time, it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, and also, sorry, Warwick Castle. People always overlook Warwick Castle. It's a good.
I've never been yet.
I've only
I kind of want to go.
This year they've got the trebuchet back. They're building the trebuchet at the minute, so that's going to be good. But yeah. Busch
I
is.
don't even
Busch
know
food
how long
is
it would take me to get there. That's all.
It'd probably be a thing to do on your way to like Towers if you could fit it into like you could, because then it's like you put a break into your journey.
Yeah, it's about a 2 hour 20, 2 hour 30 drive. And so literally, that would be like a stopping point for going to Towers.
So there you go. But yeah, it's. I wonder whether some of these parks want to push you into buying a season pass by making the gate price. I wonder how that's going for parks, basically.
Yeah,
like worldwide.
It's certainly what a lot of them try. Yeah, it's certainly what a lot of them try to do with parking prices, especially in the US, where you're paying like
oh my God, mate,
up to $50 sometimes.
Mate, we are looking at our America trip. We're going on the East Coast. Like some of these parks are charging like $30
for general
parking.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
For
like
general parking.
And I'm like, and that adds up. I'm like,
it adds up very quickly.
Yeah. It adds up when you're doing 7 parks. Like, what the hell is that about?
That's why. Like,
I suppose you have no option but to drive as well.
You take into it, like it forces you to take in, not forces you, because it can work out cheaper this way, but like you start looking into a Cedar Fair Platinum Pass, depending on how many Cedar Fair parks you go into. You start looking into a Seas annual pass, or a Six Flags, equivalent pass or whatever, because depending on the level of the pass you get, parking is included.
I mean, there's
Merch
some
is heavily discounted.
There's some
food is heavily discounted, stuff like that.
There's some Six Flags one that include food, and it's about the same price as a million annual pass, and you get like 27 parks in the US. You get your parking included, and you get like a certain amount of meals a day with your drinks as well. I was like, that is insane.
This is why I was asking about the incentives to go for a million annual pass, because these passes, like at these US chain parks,
very
like the incentives are crazy. Like it makes a lot of sense. You save a lot of money that way.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Granted, there's more parks per chain, but like,
that's the thing. Like we looked into like, would it be better off? But the thing is, because the way we're doing it, we're doing 2 Cedar Fair parks and 1 Six Flags park.
Right.
So it's not really. It wouldn't really pay off for us.
It
wouldn't really justify it. But if we was doing like a bigger trip where we was going to go to like more Cedar Fair parks.
I
mean, it depends, because
it becomes very worth it.
Because if it lasts for 12 months as well, you could plan it so we buy it in July and then we visit like Kings Island and Cedar Point like before it's over, and then you might make money back then. So, but yeah,
that's what I've done.
Yeah, because it's just like when you look into that their season pass, the savings are crazy, really.
I got into SeaWorld San Diego, with the Seas Pass that I bought for SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa for last September.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we went on a massive tangent there.
Yeah.
Quickly, Super Nintendo World, Universal Studios Hollywood has opened. So there we go.
Can I just say, like,
that arm flail,
wacky waving inflatable arm flame? No, just I don't know if this applies to any of you or anyone else in the chat, but it probably will. But how much stock you put into certain video games you played as a child just materializing into themed areas like later on? Do you know how much time I've spent wishing there was a Super Mario themed land at a theme park?
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
And just that you manifested it.
Not just that, a Mario Kart ride as well. Like yeah.
It's insane to think there's actually a thing now.
I watched Super Enthused vlog because they went to the opening of it, and like the ride looks cool, but like I didn't realize actually like how much interactivity is in that area.
Yeah,
because if you have them bands, what they call like I can't remember what they call, like power up bands or something. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
But they're like a band you have. Yeah. And you collect points by like bashing all like the the boxes and everything.
Yeah, all like the question mark boxes. Yeah, and stuff. And then there's like certain little games that can collect the points. They can go into like a secret area, like
and then it connects to your app, so then it measures like you against everyone else that day and stuff. And then the more points you get, you unlock different like games and stuff. So it does different things when you're next there. And there's like a Bowser's Castle bit where like it's an all indoor bit where you're walking through it. There's no ride in there. It's just literally just the game. So like I just think it's genius that they've made a land where it's not just a load of rhyme, you know.
Exactly.
And they've put levels in there. So I just didn't realise there's that much
fucking
to
sick.
it.
Apparently them bands are amiibos too as well.
Yeah.
Which is where you scan it on a games console.
Oh,
like
okay,
a customized like figure.
Oh shit, really?
That you get in game.
Oh, that's dope.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Claire just said that they are $40, but I guess like I think someone like me, like who's not that invested in it, probably wouldn't buy it. But if you're going there, it's like if you're a Potter fan and you go to if you go to Universal, like you're gonna get a wand. And you're gonna see,
and those ones are more expensive. Like they're more than $40.
I think the interactive are like $70 now.
Something like
I
think it was.
So it really depends what you want. But if you don't have it, this is still enough. I think you've got a whole theme park there.
And it seems like just to compare it to the Wizarding World areas, like it seems to me like there's a whole lot more that you can do with the power-up bands at Super Nintendo World than you can do with the ones in the Wizarding World areas. Like
they are adding more to it though in the Wizarding World. They're adding more points in there.
Are they?
I think. Yeah, that's what I read.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there seems like in I don't know, because I don't actually know how many points there are in. I think there's more. I don't know if there's more actual interactive points, but there's you can do more with it. For example, the whole scoring system, like it opens up new possibilities, and you actually measure your progress on the app against other people and stuff. Like, I just think that's a really cool element to it. But yeah, like I just thought it was a really cool. It's just something I hadn't thought about really, and I wonder if like. When there's like the Donkey Kong land, like are they going to add more to it? Is that going to, because they'll obviously sell them at Epic Universe, but then it's like, will that then go over to like where Donkey Kong is and stuff? So
I feel like that would be a missed opportunity if they didn't.
yeah.
I feel like that I don't want to say it's a given, but like it would be a no-brainer for them to do that.
I'd say that I think people are sleeping on how genuinely huge Nintendo is going to be for Universal.
Yeah,
Mario's
I agree with this.
I don't know if people are sleeping on it. I just think you either care about it or you don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be more excited about it because I'm like, oh, they're going to make so much bloody money off it. That's not going to interest me more or less, you know. It is, and it's just like Avengers, you know. It's like Avengers is a massive deal for Disney. It doesn't make me care about it any more or any less. No, not really. It's going to be your emotional attachment to it, really.
I'm not sure if the I think that like there's obviously like the people who care about the brand, that are gonna flock there and stuff.
Yeah.
But because Super Mario is such a universally, excuse the pun, it was very much intended, universally known character, that it's going to garner just a lot of curiosity from people who are aware of the character, maybe not like, you know, like emotionally invested in it or nostalgically, not emotionally invested in it, but it's been like a character.
Yeah, it's like a familiar character. It's a familiar.
I think it's a familiar character in terms of just general curiosity amongst more people.
It's got it spans.
Well, I wonder what that's going to be like.
Yeah, it spans the generations as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always Mario games coming out.
Exactly.
And it's been going so long, and it's like it is the same as Mickey Mouse. Like, you see Mickey Mouse anywhere, instantly recognizable. You see Mario anywhere, instantly recognizable. I don't think it's going to be like. I don't think it's not going to be like. Universal are not going to make it. It's their icon of the park. Like, I don't think it's going to go that far.
I think it'll be one of them.
Yeah, it'll be one of them, but they've got multiple ones. Like, they've got multiple worlds. They've got lands. It's not going to be like, you're not going to go into. They're not going to make it like the actual, like.
It's not going to be.
You know what I mean? Like, they have.
Enough,
They have so many amazing IPs as it is. Like,
for sure.
It'll probably. I can imagine it's definitely going to outlast Potter. Like, if you're talking in like 60 years time, like, Mario's still going to be there. Is Potter still going to be an irrelevant thing? I don't know. It probably won't be, not as much as Mario is, because it has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Because it's always going
to more of a degree than Harry Potter has been.
Yeah,
I guess. Well, just by virtue of it literally being around for longer. But
that's the thing with Potter, they're branching away from it just being Harry Potter. It's becoming Wizarding World.
Yes,
so they've got more development options there.
Even though there really isn't, no one really cares about the other part of the Wizarding World.
I was just about to say, like, it's interesting because
that's what they're doing with Epic Universe.
I feel like they're trying to with the Wizarding, the branch of the Wizarding World that's going to Epic Universe. I feel like they're trying very hard to find creative ways to integrate Fantastic Beasts into Universal themed lands, despite the Fantastic Beasts films not doing that well.
No,
like,
I've literally the last one.
Like, I think they've figured out that they're not just going to be able to just tack on Fantastic Beast characters and that's going to sell that land like that. So. I think it's interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how effectively the integration of those areas, pans out.
Thing. So Kira said J.K. Rowling doing her best to tank Potter with her incessant transphobic rhetoric, and it is one of them topics, isn't it? Where it's like that is a very big thing, and that's going to affect the series going forward because like. I still don't feel guilty about, like, if I want to watch a Potter film, I will, because there's thousands of people who have like created that thing. It's so much bigger than her now. But then it's like if they then go on to make like a Cursed Child movie franchise, which they're talking about, am I going to be that bothered? Because I've got no emotional attachment to it, and I don't really want to support someone that I don't agree with their views.
And J.K. Rowling only profits off of merch, to my knowledge.
Is it just merch? But butterbeer is classed as merch, isn't it?
I don't know for certain.
I think I remember
not-
reading somewhere it is.
I'm not sure on that. I don't want to speak.
yeah,
I don't want to speak to.
But like that's the thing. Like, so future wise for Potter, like I reckon Universal are seeing that come in. They're like making arrangements now to be like, what's going to be like our new Potter, and they found it sort of with Mario and stuff. So it's a weird one. The Fantastic Beasts films are so poor. 3 films in. And the plot hasn't moved an inch. Yeah, I mean, I literally watched the first one and I just couldn't bother with the rest. There was nothing interesting about him. Kira said, I generally don't think I'd feel safe in the Wizarding World area of the park as trans women. Part adults are scary. Yeah, but to be fair, they are. But when I've been there, it's not like it's a big fan base constantly in the area. It's just it's normal. It's just general theme park people there, theme park goers who've like maybe grown up with the films and are like, oh, let's go see what this is about. It's not like a big meeting point for the fandom. Promise you that.
Claire says, Alicia Stella, theme park stop on socials and YouTube and stuff, did a fantastic piece on what goes to JK, and she included the all of the details of the contract between J.K. Rowling and Comcast. Like the documentation of that contract is public, and essentially, buy anything at all from the Harry Potter lands, food, drink, merch, etc., and she gets a cut. Same with anything branded anywhere else. So like, I mean, me personally, like the only thing I've ever bought from the Wizarding World lands is butterbeer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because to be honest, I remember
obviously, Potter merch. You know,
I don't get it though, because it's like I don't get the merch point. Like I obviously I do get it. Like if you like Potter, but it's so like the merch is like anything you could buy in like a B&M. Like it's literally like not even that special. Yeah. Like there's nothing different about it. They might have like some things and stuff, but like the shops, the only reason I've ever been in them shops is just to look at the theming of them, because they are like themed up so good in them shops. But yeah, it's one of them where it's just unfortunate really, because you know there's people who have grown up with them series and just now feel alienated. So it's gonna keep going that way.
It is an issue. It is an issue that I think Universal have to continue to rectify, though.
But there's nothing they can't control what she does. So, but
no. I just mean in terms of trans people feeling safe in those areas. Not obviously they can't control anything that J.K. Rowling says, but yeah, let's not.
I would think. I would think that majority of the people who are Potter fans, there's going to be a minority of them who will side with J.K. Rowling, but like even the actors have like said they do not agree with it. Like all the actors who like owe them her career in a way, owe her their career, have gone against it. Like multiple people have gone against it.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's still a lot of fans who are against it. But I guess if they're choosing to still purchase things, and they are some way responsible for
sure,
just contributing towards her, because she gets a cut of everything. So just to close. I don't want to stay on this for too long, but adds to what I was trying to say as well, but couldn't articulate well enough. She doesn't get a cut of the gate, so she doesn't get a cut of admission, sales. Yeah, I never thought that, to be honest, because like how would she get a cut of like the whole, like that would be so weird, because how would you define like what part
what part of each person's ticket sale has gone to specifically the Harry Potter world? Like that's not quantifiable, because it's obviously all one price. So she doesn't get any of that. So that is essentially like where my involvement with the areas is going and riding the rides. Yeah, like the vast majority of my involvement anyway. But I don't know how much. I don't know how long we want to spend on.
No, we'll move along. But I think from my point of view, riding them rides, if you have any kind of like emotional attachment, but you don't support J.K. Rowling's views, like it's all based on the films, and she didn't really have anything to do with the films. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying like you got to do what you feel comfortable doing, but when I was doing it, I'm not in there going, this is J.K. Rowling's world, because at some point when it's released into the ether and it's been going like a film series been going 10 years, it's not like it's based on the books, it's based on the films.
Yeah.
In a way, I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I get you.
The rides there are like some of the best rides you can do. So yeah, hopefully. But I do feel bad. No, I don't feel sorry, Kira. Like it's a topic that, you know, if we're on the subject of it, it has to come up and it has to be talked about. So there we go. So I think Velocicoaster, same park. Let's go.
Speaking of Universal.
Express has been introduced to Velocicoaster.
Yeah. Now this was interesting in a few different ways, just because for anyone who's been lucky enough to go and ride Velocicoaster in the past 2 years, like even aside from just how good the ride is, how good how thorough the attraction is and stuff, is how god tier that operations crew is, and just how quickly the line moves because of it. Like anyone who's been has seen like the ride time that has been posted at any given time. The actual time you're waiting in the queue line has been a solid 15, 20, sometimes even 30 minutes less than what was actually posted. And Velocicoaster as a whole has been lauded for its operations and how quickly the queue moves.
Yeah.
Which, and it's gonna be interesting to keep an eye on. And I mean, it's already been affected negatively in certain ways, because not only did they change up recently the loading procedures on it, which made the whole loading process a little bit slower than it used to be, but now as of 2 days ago, they've now introduced Express Pass on Velocicoaster, and to my knowledge, the ratio of Express Pass to standby queue on each train is 50-50.
Right.
As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong. It is what I've been told by people who work there at the park. I don't know how often that changes. But so that's that in itself, moving forward, is going to have quite a considerable effect on how quickly that line moves, and just how long it takes to load trains, because you're loading trains from multiple sides of the station now, not just one, or not just one or two.
Does it not have a merge kind of earlier in the queue then for the Express Pass?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
I don't even know where the Express is, because I know where the single I know where the single queue is. So unless the single queue is becoming, is that, I don't know. I'm not.
I think if I remember correctly, so the single rider queue, obviously the merge. Well, like it doesn't, because the merge point is right where the standby queue ends, and then the grouper is sending in people from the standby queue into the air gates, and then fills up spaces in the air gates with single riders.
Yeah.
And I think I remember seeing another unused line in that grouping merge point for Express Pass. I think. I'm not 100% sure. So like, it'll be like, it might be like they send in half of the train. I don't know, like, however many Express Pass users into the air gates, and then standby, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't think it merges into the standby queue line before it gets to the grouping point. That's just before the air gates. I don't think that's how it is, but I could be wrong. I
feel like they should have waited a lot longer to
It
introduce
does seem very
Express.
quick.
I
It
think
feels too
yeah.
quick.
It does feel too quick, and like I think Express Pass was planned from the beginning of development, hence why there's a a dedicated Express Pass
Yeah.
line in the station building. But yeah, I do think they should have waited longer to introduce it. I do think they shouldn't have introduced it on a national holiday.
Yeah, that was the worst. Because them
Wow.
photos that come out of the wait times was a bit misleading, right?
Yeah, and this is what I was gonna get
Yeah.
into, and this is why it has to be put into context, because it's not just the introduction of Express Pass that's at play. It's the fact that it was introduced on a national holiday on I can't remember what national holiday it was in the
One
US,
of them many.
but yeah, and it was introduced on a holiday. Hagrid's was opening and closing like a lot. Like it was up and down that morning, and oh god, there was something else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, is that combined
there
with
was
the new
something-
loading procedure as well?
That's
right?
the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
Because now they're having
yeah.
to check everything twice. So they
Yeah.
go. Is it from outside to the middle and then back, or is it from the middle and then back? I can't remember what it was now. But
I
it's one of the other.
think it's from the operate like the platform attendants positions to the
Yeah.
middle of the train, and they have to meet
Middle.
in the train and like
And-
verify
yeah.
with each other that they've checked
Yeah,
each one of their seats, and then they go back and check again.
yeah. Where it used to be just the one sweep. It used to just be
Yeah.
like they would go do one sweep and then go away. But for whatever reason, there must have been some reason they're now
Yeah.
doing it twice.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that doesn't seem like a big deal, but you
Seems
multiply
very
that
odd.
over. you
It adds
multiply
up
that over-
so
yeah,
fast. It adds
Yeah.
up faster than a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
Like in the context of just one, loading procedure, like it's adding what, like 5 seconds, if that, like to it.
Yeah.
But over the
But
course
something
of
with
over an hour in relation to theoretical
something with-
hourly ride
Yeah.
capacity, it's a lot.
and something that needs so much throughput like that ride does, like
Mm.
it's going to have a massive effect. And then you throw Express in there,
Mm-hmm.
then adds a massive thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a strange one that they've they've tried to. I don't know. I still think it's just too popular to introduce Express, and so
Yeah.
closely after they've done this new loading procedure as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too quick.
Yeah.
But we'll soon see when it's going to be the main season soon for them.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how. We're not looking forward to it. I can't wait to see how bad Ron.
Can't
is.
wait to see how much slower it is.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious to see how long it's going to be now, especially when it's like in the summer. And
I can see like it's like the benefits of it should be noticed, like it should be noted for hotel stays and for annual pass users as well. Annual passes have gone up in price a lot at Universal over the past couple of years, and I know the most expensive annual pass level gets unlimited, I think, Express Pass from 4 p.m. I don't know if it's unlimited or if it's just one, but like the way that like the manner in which annual passes have jumped up in price over the past couple of years, that makes that annual pass much more worth it, because you're getting potentially unlimited Express Pass on arguably the resort's most popular attraction. Or just newest attraction.
I just read that Hagrid's is now being closed it's got major refurbishment happening to it.
Yeah, I did see.
Till February the 21st until March the 5th.
Isn't it to do with the storm?
There's Q needs rebuilding after the last.
Oh yeah, I do remember seeing that actually.
Yeah, because the Hurricane Ian last
year.
Yeah. There was some kind of landslide or something.
Yeah, there was fast pass for the.
There was
passes.
I think there was damage along the exit line from
That's a major ride to be. I mean, at least they're doing it now in like the quieter season. But
yeah.
I know a lot of people who would go this time of year because it is quieter.
Yeah.
So to go there and have a major ride,
I'm
like
one of them.
yeah. I think a lot of people are. But like to have to go there and then realize like Hagrid's is down that's pretty sad, because that is a good coaster. From a coaster point of view, like it is very fun.
Well, it's just massively popular, isn't it? Like
it's
massively popular.
Yeah. Anyway, right now it's posting 135 minutes.
Ouch.
Yeah, that would be.
That's long. That's long. Like that.
It's over 2 hours.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And like Velocicoaster,
I mean,
Velocicoaster has one of the more interesting queues among like new thrill coasters, but that's still a long time to be waiting for.
Right. The thing
Eventually,
is,
a queue gets boring once you've seen the same
it's
effects.
not that interesting. Like I don't agree. There's certain elements in that queue that are very impressive, but when the majority of that queue line is flipping boring. It just is. Like I don't know. I feel like people overcompensate this queue, because I was expecting when I went there to be like everywhere you was. There's like the first portion of it is just cattle pen. When you're like before you go, where you go before you go into the corridors that lead you to the raptors in the cages. Before that, it's just got a massive cattle pen queue line. And then you'll just walk. You're just queuing around like themed corridors, and then you see the raptors for a very little part of it. It also feels like the raptor bit is the quickest part of the queue that you go through. And if anything, I want to be stood in there the longest. But you some reason you just fly through that, because after that is where you go to the lockers. And then you go to the lockers, and then you're just upstairs in another cattle pen and a big screen. And I'm like, that's it. I'm like, I don't think the queue is like that amazing, if I'm honest.
I got
very bored. I got very bored. I think after the first time I did it,
I'll like bring a book with you when you get to some of these Six Flags and Cedar Fair parks. Then, like, take something with you to keep you entertained.
I've checked the but we're talking about Six Flags. Like I'm talking about Universal. I still think
but like
I think Disney's queues are some of the best. They're some of the more entertaining ones for me, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like Disney are we talk about Disney are Disney for a reason, right? Like they know how to integrate. I mean, all you have to do is look at Rise to Resistance. Like they know how to integrate a queue line into the experience. They are. I don't think it's really arguable. They are the best at that. But
But even like there's a lot of good queue lines within Universal, like generally. Like I just think like stop the cattle pen. Like if it wasn't cattle pens, I wouldn't be so annoyed. But when you get up onto that top level before you get in there, just being in that mass of people that are just weaving in and out, I just hate that so much. And I just didn't expect it to be in Velocicoaster. I didn't expect to just be like cooped up in like this massive room just full of people. I felt like I was on Shambhala again with just a nice fancy screen in the background.
Oh come on, it's not that
bad. It moves fast. Don't get me wrong.
And I think that's why I wasn't really fazed by it that much, because I mean just how fast the queue line moves. Like apart from like the odd time when the ride went down for like like a technical issue or whatever, like I never felt myself spending that much time in the cattle pen portions of the queue lines, and just the queue moves so fast it didn't really faze me that much. And like I like in that top room, the upstairs room with the with the pre-show video, like I mean whoever I'm with, we just spend the entire time just quoting the video. So I personally didn't find it that bad, but I hear what you're saying. All I'm saying is just like prepare yourself.
No, I'm not saying like obviously it is better than most amusement parks, obviously, but the way everyone bigged up that queue, I thought it was going to be like Forbidden Journey, where that is like insane. Like there's so much to look at. but I just felt like in Flosser, it's mainly just like corridors.
I did single rider the last time I did Forbidden Journey, so I don't really remember it. But
yeah,
no,
I mean,
hear you.
the first time we did it, we did queued up because I just wanted to see the queue. I actually wanted to see the entire queue, but like the single rider on Forbidden is like genius because it can be, it can be on an hour and a half queue. And if you do single riders, you're getting straight on it. Like there's not even any waiting; you're just straight on it with family. Yeah, but like I mean, from my perspective, obviously everyone's different. I like to see. I like a queue that you can see a coaster from. I hate it when they keep it away from you. Like Fly, for example. Let's go back to Fly. Fly's queue is incredible. Like just because it goes around everywhere and it makes you see certain parts of the ride from a different perspective that you can't.
So that's
see
interesting
else.
actually, because so you like that about Fly's queue line, and so do I as well. But there have been so many people who just been like, it doesn't need to go all the way around the area. I don't want to keep walking around this. Like
so.
There's a lot.
There's
a lot to see.
I love the fact that it goes around the area, but re-rideability does make you wish that sometimes that you could just have a door that goes straight through to where that table bit is. That's right by where the entrance is.
That is true. If it's a quiet day, it's not good. You need one of the magic gates like Zardra.
I was going to say it needs a magic gate.
Yeah, it needs a magic gate that they can just let you through. Like that is annoying. That if you had to keep doing that, we didn't go on a day where we had a few fast passes, so we were just using them. But so we only like literally walked through it. But I would rather have a big long line like that. That's just a single thing than just ever
because the capacity of that line.
Yeah,
that queue line is the only bit of Kettle Pen is literally that first little section of it, just after the stairs, and they've removed the fence anyway. So because everyone used to just duck under the fence, to not walk around it,
right? Yeah,
and I did that and almost fell over because my bag got stuck. That was quite embarrassing.
Yes, Sam was in the house. We were just talking about your vlog. It was very good. I loved seeing all the interactive games and stuff. Like we talked about that for a while. He said, it's a ride that you have to go on multiple times to figure out, but when you do, it's awesome. That's pretty cool. So anyway, and someone just mentioned Wicker Man. It's one of my favorite queues in the UK because it wraps around the coaster, and there's no cattle pens in there. So
it's great, unless you get into that extended that's not actually in the queue.
It's not. It's still not cattle. It's cattle pen.
It's not.
There's fences.
Really
you don't have to be like, it's boring. I do agree with that. I always feel like it just, even if it's on a busy day, I feel like that queue goes very fast because you're like, you're just looking at it and you've got something to distract you. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Oh my God.
Yeah,
food.
Food.
Yeah.
Should we just retitle it? Theme park queues.
Theme park queues.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, we probably should, man. It's so crazy because we always get in really interesting conversations about nothing about the title of what it's called. Maybe you should just call them Untitled and then name it after the show.
Let's just embrace the fact that none of these episodes are going to be like an hour and a half.
We kept the news down to 45 minutes last week.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know how the hell we did that. Okay, so
medals for that shit.
Let's talk about food at theme parks.
Yeah. How did we want to frame this? Going
just let's start with like things that are memorable. So like because I was talking about Fantasyland and I love to talk about Fantasyland. I'll start with that.
Really, I had no idea.
If you didn't, I would have.
Something that stuck out to me the last time I was there, and I didn't really appreciate it as much the first time I was there, but like the variety of food that you can get at Fantasyland is like, I'd say it's on the level of Disney because there's just so much you can get.
Yep.
And I'd even go as far as saying, like, sometimes even better, because like some of the best food you can get some of these larger big resort parks. If you want good food, you have to go and like sit down or reserve like a restaurant or something. With Phantasialand, like they're fast serve restaurants. They just offer amazing food. The Chinese area, like their food there, the Chinese, it's like any Chinese you'd get like in this country. Like the food is so nice. The jambalaya.
I've never actually had anything from the Chinese area.
It's really good.
Anything to eat.
I had the jambalaya in the African.
The jambalaya is so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's like €7 as well. It's so cheap.
To have like rice and because I'm veggie, so I had the veggie version, and it was just like loads of veg with rice. It was just so tasty.
Like the portion size is pretty big as well.
Huge. There's just like there's so many options, and then you can go to you can get your average chips and burgers. But then even that like tastes better than any other like theme park I've been to.
Just everything there is just really well presented. Every area has its own kind of unique foods as well. Like next to the exit of Fly, that sandwich shop.
A sandwich shop.
Oh yeah,
it just looks insane.
One thing I was gonna pick. I don't remember any of us mentioning this when we did the recaps of Ruckberg. The chocolate store.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk. I was just really thinking of this.
The chocolate store is so good.
I don't know if you when we was there, Vix got this like she just wanted the mug because it come in a Phantasialand mug and it had like this kind of like just looked like kind of chocolate mousse. So Vix bought it and then they were like, "Do you want it warmed up?" And she was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And they just warmed up this mug of like chocolate mousse and gave it her, and it was like this. It just looked it smelled amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just like little things like that you can just you can get there. It's normally you go to a lot of theme parks and it's just like you either have this or that. That's it. And it's just everywhere you look. The focaccia bread, that store next to the chocolate place, it has a focaccia bread. You get all different types.
Where's that?
The Mexican. That's like where that chocolate store is. You want about Fly or you want about?
He's on about Fly.
Oh, okay, no, I'm on about another chocolate store that is in Berlin area.
Oh,
you can go there.
Fair enough.
But so there's there, and it's got loads of like a lot of chocolates and stuff, but then like a lot different sweets and things, and like it's got like apples that are like being coated in, like chocolate and stuff.
Yeah.
Then next to that, Chris and Gemma took us to this place. I'd always walked past it because it's not really in your line of path unless you go out the way.
Yeah.
But then there's a focaccia bread store where it's all fresh. And then if you go around the corner, you've got the Mexican place as well.
Yeah.
Which I have not eaten in there before, but that looks really good. And then also if you stay at Ling Bao, it's literally a Chinese buffet inside there.
That's
which is my favorite thing ever. Like a Chinese buffet is, I'll live for that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the African Hotel Matamba, they have the African buffet, which is just like if you like vegetables and like salads and stuff. And then meat wise, they will cook you like
a whole bunch of different meats, don't they?
Like zebra, like crocodile, stuff like that. Like they'll cook it right in front of you. It's pretty pricey, the hotel stuff is, but like it's good quality food. And it was just nice to be in a theme park where I felt like I ate healthy the whole time I was there. It's weird.
Just kind of say, like, you're talking about these European parks and this mad variety, and then so the difference really, if you wanted to compare it to UK theme parks, like it's night and day. Like any theme park in the UK, it's chips,
hot dog,
burgers, hot dogs, pizza, pasta buffet, or stop.
Donuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's zero,
No, you're right though.
there's zero variety in UK theme parks. It's all bog standard shit, which to be honest, I'm sick of. So when I go to the park these days, I don't eat on park because I don't want it. It's boring. I don't want it anymore. And one thing I will say is we went over to Poland last year and they had it so set. Like we did Legendia and Angelandia and they'd have the normal food stands with all your usual stuff. But then in the middle, they had like a cafeteria set up, which is in like a horseshoe, and they had varieties of different food, and it was still fast food because you would walk in, choose what you want, put it on your tray and sit down. But they'd have tens of different varieties of food, like pizzas, pastas, which different because it was fresh and cooked. It wasn't like frozen shit that they just put on.
Yeah.
Salads, fruit, so much stuff. And it was like, that is a quick and easy option. Why do UK theme parks not do like this similar setup, like a central food hub where you can get a variety of different things from one place and it's still quick because you're just taking it off the shelf and sitting down and eating it? I don't understand why we have to be force-fed burgers and chicken nuggets. It pisses me off because I want food. Like, I'm a fat bitch when it comes to food. And I'm
strong.
fucking sick of it.
The thing is, like, there's been times where we've gone to, in Blackpool, for example, we've gone to pizza and pasta buffet just because I want a salad. Like, and it's the only place I can get a salad. Like, we've got
Do you
some
know what
coleslaw and
Blackpool would
stuff.
benefit from, apart from more food in general, because there's naff all there as it is? It's something like, it doesn't have to be one, but like a Subway setup, sandwich shop where you can make a fresh sandwich or a fresh salad.
That's the thing. Like, I don't even want. I'm not even asking for a lot from theme parks, but like from UK theme parks. But yeah, and I'm like, I just think it's mad that, like, even though this isn't healthy, but like one of our like delicacies in the UK is like a pasty or like a sausage roll.
Don't get me wrong, I'm down for a
You can't even get one of them at a park.
You can't even get one of them. Like, you know, if you just want a quick snack and you're like, oh, what can I get? I just want like a sausage roll, or like I just want something quick. You can't get.
Does Flamingo Land still have the Kooplins?
Flamingo Land has one.
Is the Kooplins still there?
And Drayton Manor have them as well. If you go to humble parties, and they sell them in the Sodor airport as well, they have a selection of like pasties and stuff, and they actually do a vegetarian sausage roll in there, which is really good.
Oh, legit.
But like I was saying the other day when I was there, though, I was like, even I know it's not healthy, but I'm like, even that, I'm like, why is that like a hard thing to ask for in a theme park, which is just like a quick snack? It's like, it feels like when you're at a theme park, it's like you can't get that. You have to have like a meal.
How no park in the UK has popped up a Greggs yet? I have no idea. How has that not happened yet?
Bring back what?
Bring back the noodles at Pleasure Beach.
Yeah. They had, and they also used to do like the halloumi sticks as well. And that wasn't there at all last year.
That pie and pasty place actually at FY4 that was open for about a month. They had pasties and pies and stuff. There was always a queue, and then it just never opened again.
The thing is with Pleasure Beach is most of their food is like outside vendors, isn't it? That pay for their spot there. So like all the places in FY4 seem to be outside people, and you know, like opposite Big Dipper as well, like all them. Because like I still think like Pleasure Beach have a little bit more different stuff compared to like some of the Merlin parks. Like with Merlin Parks,
I think it's the worst. I would say.
Do you think? I don't know. I feel like you got a bit more options there. Like you can get like a bubble waffle.
Bubble waffle's never open.
It's never open. But like when they had like even just trying to find a jacket potato. Like we found a jacket potato at One Towers. Do you know where it is?
No.
CBeebies.
What?
The restaurant
of all places.
More places. They actually do a jacket potato. So that's where me and Joe go now and again. He'd be like, I want a jacket potato. So we'll just go and sit with the kids. But I'm like, jacket potato is quite a good meal to have at a theme park because you can have like it's so different to just having burger.
Fills you up.
Yeah.
Healthy-ish.
Mentioning in the chat about Joe saying it and a couple of others. You know, like in the European parts, have you seen where they have like the little vending machine cupboards with the snacks in?
Yeah. Oh,
like Toadland have them.
Yeah, Netherlands are the best for that because you can just get like a little pea snack.
They're well easy, just a wall of them.
That does sound. And best part, no human interaction.
Yeah, actually, Luke said that we need the Efteling hot food vending machines in the UK. They're the best things. Yeah, but like, best, if you go,
best part of food at a park, not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Why do you think I love the self-serve kiosks?
Carvery. Let's have a carvery in a UK.
Let's have a carvery.
I mean, I'd love it.
I'd be so here for it, though.
I'd love it, but I don't think I could stomach a ride after a carvery.
Nah, I will overstuff myself. I order a carvery.
1000%.
I think way too much food.
That'd be good. That'd be good as like you know how like roller coaster restaurant stays open past park hours.
Yeah,
That would be
have
something.
it
That'd be
as a
something to
after
good to
park
do.
offering.
Yeah, like it's on park or like just like adjacent to the park, like how the pub is like right at the side basically of Flamingo Land. I can't remember the name of the pub, but yeah, like something like that for it to operate as a place, as a bona fide place for like guests of the park that day to just go there for like a carvery. How sick would that be?
Yeah, themed snacks in each area of a park that become a destination would be good for towers. It'd be good for any UK park, to be honest. I think themed food is so good, and and if you change up the menu all the time, like I think this is the thing. Like, I feel like in the UK we're going forward in some aspects. Like we've now introduced events, which is like 3 years ago we was all crying out for events at theme parks. You know, it's weird to think that like only 3 years ago, like we didn't have events. We didn't have an Oktoberfest. We didn't have like Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
do have
like
to
that.
say, with like Mardi Gras and stuff, having Food Street at Towers, having all that different selection of food was so good.
It was
like
good.
they had like the Greek food vibe was just.
I would prefer it to be like how Epcot do it when they do the Food and Wine Festival, where
I was literally
like,
just about to say, yeah,
because when you do
food and
that,
wine.
it's like little portions, and it's not. It's still quite expensive because it's Disney, but like you're still paying like $5 for like a little portion, which means you can then like if you want to make a day of it, you can like go around. You're going to spend some money, but that's part of it in a way. Like if you want to do that, and I love doing that. I didn't go to we didn't buy something from every single country, but like we'd do different stops and go. That sounds really good. Let's just get like a little snack.
Or just do the cards that they do,
Yeah.
and at like Busch Gardens is Food and Wine Festival as well. Like you get a card of like, you pay however much for a card, and it gives you like 10 or 15 or however many stops, like all in that one price. I do it that way as well.
I just think there's so much money to be made out of food that it's just not really. I just don't think they're thinking about it enough. And it's like, why not? Like, if some people actually go to your park to taste food, it sounds stupid, but people do. And then, like,
dude, there's a whole subdivision of YouTube vloggers.
That will just go and do food.
I'm doing that.
Like Hannah does her beer break. It's not just beer. Like she will sample the food, but she doesn't. She doesn't necessarily go to Europe as much, but she's sick of just putting out the same beer break of a burger. I mean, having a burger, having a wrap. It's a bit shit.
But like even Woodcutters, like for me, that's my favorite. That was my favorite place at Towers because it just feels like going to like a Hungry Horse or Wetherspoons, and it's decent to be honest. Like I do like Woodcutters.
Portion size was good as well.
Yeah, the portion sizes are actually decent.
We went
but I don't know what it's.
No,
like
we went
now
at Christmas and it was the worst. I got about 4 chips with my wrap and it was minging. Like it's gone a little bit downhill. I'll not lie. But
so I'll have to try it out this year. But
to throw the conversation in a slightly different direction, what are some of the most like out there or unexpected things that you've had to eat at parks? Like not necessarily like the best things or like you didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but literally just like you didn't really know how to react to it. It may have been good or bad. Like it was.
I will say one recently,
just an outlandish thing.
Like, this isn't even that impressive, but the best garlic bread I've ever had in my life is at Drayton Manor Safari Kitchen, which is by the Zoo. And honestly, if you have that garlic bread, you've got to like garlic because it's so garlicky. It's like garlic butter in it, but then they put cloves of garlic in it as well.
Oh, I'll love it then.
Oh, that's
do you know how many times I've had garlic bread? I'm just like, okay, this is just bread with like a bit of garlic on it,
and then it's got cheese on top of it as well.
Oh,
and then like it's got a bit of cheese.
I love that.
And honestly, me and Joe were just like, this is the best garlic bread I think we've ever had. Like, and that was the most unexpected thing. So yeah, don't miss out on that. If you like garlic bread, get the garlic bread from.
To be fair, talking about Drayton, when we went last season in the new Vikings area, like the new barbecue place, I had the pulled pork burger there, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
so
unfortunately, the barbecue bit wasn't open when I went.
Yeah, hopefully it will be back open again regularly because that was a really good addition.
It was
they introduced the loaded fries, which I mean, it's crazy when we're excited about loaded fries, but like the loaded fries were really good. That's in Adventure Cove. Basically the chef there, he's really taken over everything, and we were talking to him because we had when Vikings opened, obviously me and Joe are veggie, so we had the veggie burger, and he was like asking us like how it was and everything, and we were like, this is the best veggie burger we've had in like a UK theme park, 100%. And he was like, I went veggie for a month because I was trying to find like a good veggie option, and he's like in charge of all the food there, and I was like, that sounds really, that's to me, I was like, that's really nice to know that someone cares that much about the food, that they're like, I went pure veggie just to find the best like vegetarian option for it. And it was really, really nice. So that they are upping the food there, which is really needed at Drayton as well, because there was really not much options, but they're doing better at the food there now. But yeah, apart from that, I'm trying to think like something that comes to something.
One thing.
Sorry, just to close my bit off.
Go for it.
One of the best things I've had at a theme park has got to be the pepper jack pretzel that they do at Disney. They do it at Magic Kingdom, I think, and it moves around all the time. Like Disney's really weird because they'll have like special food options, but you can never really find it unless you ask people. And I had it the first time I went in 2019, and it's just a pretzel, and it's just filled with it's filled with cheese, and it's got like it's got a jalapeno coating on it as well. It's not majorly spicy, but it's just one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. And it wasn't like the horrible cheese that you sometimes get with the pretzels at Disney. It was just like really nice, like warm. It was just really good, and I managed to track it down the last time I was there last year, and I wasn't disappointed. It's really good. If you get the chance, they normally sell it. The last time I got it was at the food stand near, I can't remember what it's called now. It's where you get the it's like the Cheshire Cat tails, if anyone knows where that is, in Magic Kingdom, which is by the Speedway. It's like, I can't remember how it's called now, but yeah, it was really good. And also Joffrey's is underrated, the coffee there. Joe, remind me of what that coffee we got. I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah, someone
that's
go.
dope. Yeah, I was gonna say, and
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I would be remiss if we had a whole theme park food topic and I didn't talk about Toothsome's Chocolate Emporium.
I haven't been there. Oh,
dude, oh my goodness me. Like I had super high expectations about it, and it blew them out the water for me. I want to go back to Toothsome's so bad. But the reason I bring this up is because, like, in the scope of just like unexpected things that you might eat at a theme park resort or theme park itself, the ice cream shakes that they have there, I thought that I knew they were going to be like elaborate and stuff before I went. I knew they were going to be elaborate. I knew they were going to be like pretty big and like you might struggle to finish them.
Yeah,
I did not know they were going to be as I don't know if flamboyant is the right word, but just like there's a lot going on with them. Like there's like, I'm just trying to find a few photos of them and stuff. Like there's and I took a few photos myself as well, of just like, because they have them all displayed as you walk into the main seating part of the restaurant. You basically walk past like the sort of like just like the bakery section where they do all the desserts and stuff. Like the bakery is all like, they have like really expansive windows, and you can just basically watch them like making all of the desserts and stuff. And they have the shakes all displayed like on one of the windows, so if you can see all the ones they make. They've got they've got a key lime pie one with a piece of key lime on top of the whipped cream and stuff. There's a rainbow cake one. There's a red velvet like cupcake one. There was, when I went in September, they had done a like a Halloween sort of themed one, and there was like eyeballs in the ice cream and like worms and shit. Like I think gummy worms and stuff. Like it's really interesting, and like I had because I'm a basic bitch when it comes to ice cream and desserts and stuff. I got like an Oreo one or some or the Oreo-esque one or something like that, and it was just like they had basically like it wasn't just like a standard sort of just like ice cream. Like it had like what I can only think was like an oats sort of like textured ice cream in there, mixed in with obviously like crushed Oreos and like and other stuff in there as well. And it was like it's just it like it's out there for me to taste like some kind of ice cream at a theme park that was just as like thoroughly thought through as that. And
yeah,
I didn't even come close to finishing it because it was massive. but like
that's the thing. Like
yeah,
that's the great thing about Universal is City Walk itself, because
Mm.
we ate a lot at City Walk and there's just
Yeah.
so much there. So like we went to Antojitos, which was really good.
I've eaten
Um,
there. It's
yeah.
yeah.
I loved that
Antojitos
place.
is so
Yeah,
good. So good.
that was just that was amazing.
Yeah,
we went to
really good Mexican food there.
Margaritaville, which wasn't the best food in the world, but like
Mm.
it was like a great atmosphere in there.
Yeah,
It was really quite fun.
I want to go to Margaritaville. Look, it
there's-
just looks really fun.
Yeah, it is really fun.
Mm.
Bread Box, which is like on the upper level.
yeah,
Like
I mean,
that's a great place to go if you just want to like have a quick. If you
Yeah.
get to the park and you're not had breakfast and you're kind of like, I'm a bit hungry.
Mm.
The sandwiches they do there. I remember having like a cheese like a toasty in there, and it was just so good. We had a bit of an issue in there where like if you're using the mobile app ordering, it's not the best in Universal. It just wasn't working properly for us, where we had to wait ages, and then we asked them and then they were just like, oh, it's not on it, it hasn't gone through, even though we paid for it. It just hadn't come up on their system. So but once they got it, they come out really fast and got it to us. Ben the bio buns there, which is like
I've heard
really
of
good.
that, yeah.
Like I've had some of them, and then they've got that little food court that's opposite the bao buns place, which has like Panda Express, so it's like a quick surf.
Most
like
Southwesterns in there as well.
Yeah, Moe's, and there's a Burger King in there as well.
Mm.
So and then obviously Voodoo Donuts. That if you like donuts, donuts, they are like the god tier of donuts. I've got to say, I absolutely love them. But yeah, like City Walk itself, it's great because if you're in the park, you can just walk out. If there's nothing in the park that you want, you can just go, okay, let's just like go out there and just grab something. And it's not all just sit down restaurants. There's a lot of quick serves out there that do.
There's a lot of reasonably priced stuff, even outside of like the standard like Panda Express, Moe's, Burger King, like all of that stuff. Like if you go to like a Bread Box or like even Antojitos, like it's reasonably priced stuff. They do have the like Toothsome and also Big Fire Grill. They're more of the, I don't want to say upscale, but like you're gonna be paying a little bit more to eat there. Especially like Big Fire Grill is basically like their really quality sit down grill sort of restaurant. You get in like good steak stuff like that there if you're a steak person. But yeah, like a lot of it in City Walk is very well priced considering how expensive some of the other food in the parks can be as well.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for the chat because the chat is going crazy.
Yeah, chat's going. Chat's going mental.
I am starving. If everyone all I've got is a bag of mints.
I mean, you had all day to prepare your snacks for this, Emma. You knew what
you could have got a pork pie.
You did.
Yeah, you could have got.
I just said it in the chat. I got a fajita in the fridge, but that might be too much. Like,
so yeah, going through it. In terms of themed food, I remember having a fish sandwich in the Nordic area, which felt very fitting.
That is very fitting. Very
fitting. I'm fascinated by the donut chicken burger in a driving past car crash way. I had one of them donut I remember trying a donut burger. It's a veggie burger, and it was this horrible. Like it just should never ever. I thought
So-
I thought it was going to be one of them things that was like it sounds disgusting.
I'm
but
assuming
you
it's
have it-
sweet donut.
Yeah,
Like, an actual
yeah.
donut.
An actual
Ooh.
donut. For a little bit,
That's
like
odd.
Tesco did them. Like
Did
literally,
they?
Tesco just did them. Yeah, like it was like, a couple of years ago, and I tried it, and I was like, that is just horrible. It's like too much.
A donut
Um,
burger gives me the same feels as McDonald's pancakes with the sausage. It's not right. I don't. I can't. It's weird.
Mixing sweet and savoury.
Well,
sometimes doesn't work.
That I kind of get from the whole American pancakes and bacon.
I want pancakes and syrup. I don't want
So-
a bloody burger on it. You.
Yeah, in America, like when they do like I remember going to the McDonald's there, and they did a scone, and scone or scone. Sorry, don't want to trigger the chat there. Scone. But like it looked like a scone, and then but I had it, and it had cheese on it, and it was like the saltiest scone I'd ever had in my life, and I was like, it was disgusting. Like it was so weird. So I'm trying to go through like all the chat. Anyone picked out any good?
I'm just Matt and Luke.
There's a
are
lot
just
of
talking
cheese
about
talk.
cheese. Like,
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah,
I
okay.
There's
right.
cheese talk again.
You lot
What, you
fucking
want a
love
cheese
cheese,
board?
don't you?
Matt Kosajai did say he doesn't understand why parks don't do any breakfast options.
Yeah, that's a big
Is it
thing.
they're open
Yeah,
so
honestly.
early?
Yeah, that is a big thing. I'm always like, sometimes I skip breakfast and I just want if you go to, that's the good thing, like if you go to a European park, you can always get a croissant or something, or like
Yeah.
something to like there's like bakeries and stuff, but it's quite hard. Like you can go to Costa and sometimes get something, but it's just not the best. Like
But that's the
When you
thing.
think-
If you're going somewhere like Towers,
You're there
that's
now.
a bit
Yeah.
of a detour to actually go get something because
yeah, but like why haven't they got just somewhere that just like a bacon sandwich or something that people want,
Just
you
a
know?
bun.
Or,
the only way that you can get that is by staying at one of the hotels.
yeah.
But I know that Thorpe did have the breakfast van outside the front for a while, but that only lasted one season.
Yes, you can get a coffee like before even going into
Like, if
Back
Towers
you.
just had one of them on the pathway walking from the car park to the park, because
Just a coffee,
and
like,
it's
just
the.
a-
yeah, you need something to get your energy
stop
up for that
halfway for a
walk.
snack, you know what I mean?
Just I don't like the fact that you have to wait until you're inside the park just to get a coffee. Like I want to get a
Yeah.
coffee. That's what I love about the Disney parks. They've always got a Joffrey's outside the turnstiles normally, which I
Yeah, a
absolutely
coffee
love.
shop on the plaza would be
Yeah.
great.
Oh, by the way, the coffee I was talking about was a cold chai latte. A chai latte from Joffrey's is the best one I've ever had. I've tried to have other ones, they've just not hit the spot, but
Chai latte sounds posh. I don't know.
it sounds well Tory, doesn't it? But it's
Well, Tory.
but
That-
if you-
that is
yeah,
weird.
if you have
Yeah.
it, if you have it like if you have it like in the cold, the hot versions, but if you're in Florida as well, like you want it cold. and
What
it's
is
just-
chai? What's it taste?
It's like a mix of tea and spices. From
Yeah, it's like a spice.
It's a
No,
South
it's-
Asian Indian.
It's so good. Like it's so.
It
good.
is really good.
It's so nice. It tastes better than what it sounds to describe it. It's really
It's a
good.
Southeast Asian origin kind
Yeah.
of tea, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
South
in the
Asian.
area of the world.
Kind of India.
Yeah.
Is a
I
big
don't
um,
know about that one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gemma said that Towers has a breakfast bit to the right of the lawn near CBeebies.
Yeah, the coffee shop on the corner.
But it's
does-
not. It's not like. It's
It's
but it's
not
like
proper.
heated up. It's like just your standard Costa heated up in a thing in it. Like
Mm.
yeah.
I want like I think most people would want like an actual like. Because the thing is, like I've not eaten meat for years, but I remember when I did, and if you heated up bacon, it went all slimy and horrible. Like it does. It's not good. Like it's not as good
It's
as like
either
frying
slimy
it.
or it snaps in half.
Yeah, it snaps in half. Like that's the thing, innit? Pot of spoons in Alton Towers. Nah, don't want spoons.
we can do better than
We can do better than spoons. Come on.
Going back to my point though, just a central food hub with loads. It's like a cafeteria.
Yeah.
Like I was sat in Legendia and I had chicken and vegetables and potatoes and a bit of
Oh.
something else and a bit of something else, and it was fucking brilliant.
The food at Energylandia as well, like you're saying, like it was so good. Like again, they offer a lot there, more than I thought they was going to offer. But I just remember having this like this wrap, and it was just like full of like salad and falafel. Falafel. I can't say it.
Falafel.
Falafels. And it was just like it had like all sauce in it and stuff, and it was like one of the best things I've had at a theme park as well.
Yeah,
that was for me.
We sat in the Aqualantis area, and they had the cafeteria bit. And I think,
so
especially
good.
when you've got kids, right,
Yeah.
who are picky buggers.
Yeah.
They had a pizza. Lola had something else. I had something healthy. They did these amazing jars of just like fresh fruit salad and amazing cream cakes as well. It was like you could just have a bit of everything, like normal food.
And the cocktails in Aqualantis.
Oh my god!
They are like they're so strong
right now.
They're so strong and so cheap.
I don't even like mojitos, but Energy Land mojitos. I had about 40 of them bad boys. They're amazing.
Yeah. That's another.
Jesus.
Every time I walked past, I was like, mojito, yes.
How many did you actually have? Do you reckon?
Mate, in a day, we probably had like 5 or 6 each.
They are strong as hell as well.
Well, we watched them make them because I was like, I don't like mojitos, so I was like, they're doing something different. And we watched her make them, and she was pouring like double shots, but then was pouring it in as well. So it's like a triple shot over them in the mojito. It's
Wow.
But it was good because I don't like. They only serve beer there. I don't like beer, so I was like mojitos. Yes.
Yeah, they are good. I'm trying to
Luke,
think.
saying all you can eat buffets, but not just pizza pasta.
Yeah.
More buffet places would be good.
But what would you do? What other? I guess you could have a Chinese buffet.
I love a buffet.
Just a world buffet. Imagine a world.
Well, yeah,
buffet,
that's kind of what
yeah,
Emma was saying with the central thing.
An actually good
Just have a
world
mix of
buffet, because
everything.
whenever I think of world buffets, I don't know if any other cities in England had red hot buffets.
There's
But-
one in town. Did you go to the one in Manchester?
I went to the one in Leeds.
Oh,
And
what an
it
absolute
was-
shit show that was.
it was
I
shoddy.
feel like
it
there
was
was one in
crap.
Cardiff.
And that's like I think that has put me off of what, like, you know, when we talk about like world buffets. But like if you can do an actually good one somewhere, then absolutely.
There was one in Cardiff, but I
absolutely go for
didn't go to it. I went to another one, which was also a shit show.
it.
Yeah, but it's the only place that you can get like a plate full with like a little bit of roast dinner, a little bit of curry, a little bit of
They're great, but they are such a weird
Gravy.
concept. It's like, yeah,
'Cause
have
it's like-
everything
we
possible.
had Jimmy Spices a lot around here. I like Jimmy Spices. They were good. And
'Cause it's
Cosmo,
like-
Cosmo's still everywhere, and Cosmo's really good because they're mainly like Chinese, but then they have a bit of everything as well. And they're still in places. But yeah, like just
John just said the one in Liverpool got shut down to mice. The one in Manchester got shut down due to gangs.
gangs.
Wow.
Actual gangs,
Yeah.
like fighting.
Fair enough.
Mm.
We're
I
all
just-
going to
the
one day do
thing is-
in Red Hot Buffet and go off. That's
I think buffets is a good idea in principle, but like everyone's overstuffs themselves, and I think at a theme park, I don't think you need that. Like,
yeah.
you just need a bit of energy and a bit of
Mm.
like to get you going again. I don't know if I'd always.
yeah,
option
I don't sit and have
the
a big meal in
buffet.
a park.
No,
You're not
I
necessarily
wouldn't
trying
do
to eat as much as you possibly can at a theme
Yeah.
park.
I would,
But it's
like I
gonna be
say,
just
like,
like
I
a
said
pit stop.
before, I'd always go for the option of like little but often meals if I could. Like if I could
Mm.
just do that, like eat every like few hours, but just little portions. I'd always go for that option than just like one big meal.
That don't have sit down meal prices.
Yeah,
That's it.
and also like it takes
Price.
like the thing is, I like quick serves because I always want to like I want to not even that, just like quickly get my food, eat, maybe
That's
sit
all
down, but then just like go. But if you
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
whole sit down thing, you're talking like an hour. You end up
Yeah.
sitting there for,
Exactly.
and that's quite a lot of time out of your day. And if you got like one day somewhere, and again, that's a problem I had with Europa Park. Was Europa Park has some good food, but it's all restaurant based. I think it's like it's very much a European thing where people do like to just sit and take the time and things. But like the quick serves were like not the best there at Europa Park.
I want to. Speaking of Europa Park, I want to bring up Adrenaline, this new dark
Yeah.
ride
Looks weird.
restaurant thing that they
Don't
got.
think I've got it
But-
in me.
So
I
I
wanted-
saw
I wanted-
a little
I wanted
bit
to
of
bring it
footage
up
from
later,
it,
but-
and The food looks really nice, but it's just such a strange concept. It's very
Yeah.
reminiscent of Wall-E, with
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of them sitting in the chairs being transported around.
I'm not
think-
even like I've heard little bits about it, but like I'm not really
So,
understanding how it works as a concept.
So it's basic. So like Adrenaline it's outside of the park. It's next to Rulantica, so you don't
Right.
have to be in the theme park to go and eat at it. So like basically anyone can go to it. So if you just want to go to that restaurant, you can.
Yeah.
And I think that's who they're aiming this at, because the people who are behind the food side of it are like Michelin star chefs and stuff. So that's
Yeah.
why it's pretty expensive, but also not that expensive for the quality of food that these people do.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, you're talking about 160 to 190 euros per person, but it's like a multiple course. It's a multiple course dinner.
Yeah.
You know, there's some places that I've eaten at in the past that I haven't paid for. Someone else has paid for it. It's been like a business thing, and like you're talking like £400 to £500 per person.
Yeah.
So like when I saw the price, I was like, it's still well expensive, and I wouldn't personally pay it because I'm not into that high end food side of things. I'm not that.
Yeah, I guess
foodie
in
side of it.
comparison to
But-
like other like more standard Michelin star
Yeah.
restaurants, it's not as expensive as those.
Yeah.
But like you have to put that kind of experience into context. People aren't trying
Yeah.
to spend that kind of money
Mm,
at a theme park resort, right?
yeah.
But
But that's-
that's why they
that-
have
that-
done it outside the
That's
park.
why they've done it
Yeah, yeah,
outside,
yeah.
because they're not aiming it at people inside the park. They're aiming it at people who wouldn't think twice about like spending that much money on a night on a meal. But like
Right.
yeah, so it's basically like you go in there and you sit on these chairs, and each course is like served in a different room, but the chair takes you to it. So like you're all sat together. But then, like when it's your time to go to the next room, each room is themed. Your
get a little
tables
conga
come
line.
together, and then you go into a conga line in the next themed room.
So what? Like, is it just like all of the seats are like connected to each other, like
It depends-
a train,
well,
like a train, basically?
No,
and
no, it's obviously it's trackless, but then it's like when you're in they're programmable. So whoever is in your party,
it's
you'll be all
trackless seats.
It's trackless
Yeah.
dark ride, basically. That's
Right.
what it is.
Yeah.
So like when you're in the actual rooms eating, it depends where you are. Some rooms you're all facing each other if you're at your party, and then there'll be different people, different parties around you, all eating, but you can still talk and stuff. And then there'll be some points where if the food is getting prepared in front of you, you'll all be
It's
in a
like a
line
bench,
at the
yeah.
bar, and the chef will be
Right.
talking to you through like what you're eating and things.
Yeah.
And then so it's like that's why I think it's personally quite cool, because it's like it's not the same in every room.
Absolutely.
And again, it's not aimed at people who are like going there for the ride tech.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people that went, Lou and Mike went, and they said that the food was exceptional food. Like, you know, like
Yeah,
you think that with them mixing it in with the dark ride element, that the food might not be as amazing. It's more about the ride element, so to speak. But they said the food was absolutely incredible.
yeah, it's definitely for like foodies. That's what it's aimed at. It's for people, and it's probably for like big business meetings. I'm sure like
Yeah.
the Mac family are doing some really good deals in that place as
Yeah,
well.
probably.
Let's be honest, like that's what
So like I'm just
a
looking
lot
at
of
the
that is.
I'm just looking at the website now, and just the way it's set out. I guess it is its own thing. It's its own entity. Like just like as a restaurant, Europa Park just happens to be the location that it's at.
Yeah,
Like, obviously, it's outside the
It's-
park.
it's
Obviously,
like-
it's outside the
yeah.
park. But
It's
like,
like-
it
it's
just
like,
happens to be,
mm,
on that site. But it could be it could be anywhere. It could be somewhere in like the middle of Rust, Germany. Or it could be in another German city or something like that. Fair enough.
yeah, 'cause it's like Rulantica. You know, it's like it's next door to that, so anyone can
Yeah.
just go to that
Right,
water
okay.
park. You don't have to be on there. And but also like it kind of makes sense, because like if people Europa Park tends to be a park that people spend a week at,
Mm.
and if you're like in a couple and you want to have like even if your kids, if you're with the kids, you want to go away as like a couple or something, and then like have that one evening where it's like quite special or whatever. I guess that makes sense as well. But I mean, most of all, this is going to be a concept that Mac will want to sell to other people as well.
Yeah.
So like everything, there'll be someone in the world who will be like, we want to take this to our, not even theme park, but just to our city, you know, and open up something similar to it.
Sorry, I've just seen on the website, kind of talking about the experience. It begins, the Trellin experience starts moving. Please take your seat and expect nothing less than everything. Travel from world to world in our floating chair. Experience a sensual way of floating. It's like
Old.
it's just...
What exactly is it that you're trying to do to me as I'm eating, sir?
I didn't want to go before, but I do now.
People in the chat were talking about we were talking about tapas as well. Tapas is a good shout. I think that's a good theme park.
Tapas is awesome. I love tapas.
I'll always go for tapas. And yeah, Claire was saying about a massive indoor food hall, like the one in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, in the German area.
Fest House.
That looks amazing. Like it
is good.
And they've got loads of ales as well, right? Like they've got like a whole like loads of local ales in there and stuff. I'm really interested. I can't wait to go there. Like,
I was gonna say with Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, actually. Like Fest House is good. It's not my favorite place to eat, but it is good.
No.
But like, the two places I would say for Busch Williamsburg are Marco Polo's Marketplace, which is a lot of different like Italian dishes and stuff, and some of the things in there, and then Trapper's Smokehouse, where you're gonna get all like your southern food platters and different like. I think Marco Polo's Marketplace and Fest House would probably be right up your alley, because Busch Gardens does have some good food options there when they decide to staff them. I'll say that much.
That's something I think even food halls in like in Disney, they don't really exist. Like that's something that really surprised me the first time I went. Like they have the quick serve places, but even they've gone like a bit like I remember there's one place in Magic Kingdom, I can't remember the name of it, but it was in the western area, and you could get like some really nice like burritos, but then they had like a whole salad bar there, so like you could just like get your food, and then whatever food you had from this food, there was just like an open like salad bar, and you could just get all these different like sauces and everything. And we went there last year, and the salad bar is just empty. Like they don't even run it on there anymore. And I was like so annoyed by it, because we bought the burritos, went over it, and was like, then we can just put whatever we want on it. And then didn't have it there. So me and Joe just had a burrito that literally just had salad and beans in it. Like,
well, no.
And we was just like, what the hell? We've just spent like a lot of money on these. And so it's just, it's crazy. The whole concept of Disney and their reservations of like food, like I don't want to be thinking that far in advance, like about what I want to go and eat on that day.
Yeah,
like that just seems mental to me. Like
I hate it.
I mean, the one place we did eat when we went to Disney last time was the Edison in Disney Springs, and that was brilliant because we basically didn't even have to reserve there. We just walked straight in. They sat us down because there's the two of us. The food was really nice there, and they just had like actual like, because like the Edison is like very speakeasy type vibe, and then like they had like a whole singer on there with like a whole band there, and that was like really, really good, to be fair. So yeah, but yeah, I just think more food halls at theme parks is always a good thing, because especially if you're somewhere like in America as well, where you just want aircon for a little bit as well, that's nice. But just somewhere to chill where you just don't feel like you're right next to someone, or you're just trying to find a table outside somewhere. It does my head in when you go to a park and there's not enough seating. That's something that really annoys me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But But yeah, anyway,
it's kind of. Yeah, oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's kind of with the shade kind of deal as well.
Yeah.
At parks.
But I think we've come to the end of the podcast. We've been going a long time.
Yeah.
A food one was always going to be a long.
Yeah.
And now I'm very hungry.
Yeah, I'm
Have to go
starving
and
now.
inhale some food.
But yeah, no, thanks everyone for joining us. We will be here next week. Luke will hopefully be back. He's otherwise been. We forgot to mention again. We forgot to mention Luke wasn't here.
We're so bad with this.
I know.
Like,
It's because we talk for like half an hour before we go live, and then like we forget to say, "Oh, by the way."
Yeah.
But
He had
yeah,
a-
he had a
he
work
had a-
thing going.
yeah. He had a job interview.
He had a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, he did say it in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, did he
Yeah.
say it in the chat? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what to
yeah.
say about him. But he had a job interview, so
Yeah.
he's hopefully best of luck with that, mate. And
Apparently-
yeah, he'll be back.
He did say it went really well. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Looks fun.
Good. Anyway, thanks everyone. Anyone want to plug anything while we want to go?
I released a vlog. That's it.
Did you?
For the first time.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's just me trying not to be sick for 35 minutes.
Oh, did you go to a fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just Emma pretending
should
she
be
likes
entertaining.
fairs. She keeps like trying to justify it to herself that she likes fairs.
I love
Um,
fairs, but they don't like me.
Yeah. Just like, I hope I'm not sick on this. I hope I'm not sick. Please, I'm regretting this now.
I went and got loads of sickness tablets on the way, so I was okay.
Yeah, go check that out. It's a good vlog. Yeah, that's it. All right. Thanks everyone. See you later.
See you next
See
week.
ya.
Bye bye.